Um, Please be comfortable. Bring your thoughts to this point in time. We live in many places, scattered and apart, and yet we have found a way to come together to share our presence and our gifts, even in these times of pandemic. For this, we are grateful, and we bring our minds together and send out a thanksgiving and a greeting to each other in this circle of women. We turn our thoughts to our mother, the earth, she who continues to give for our well-being. She cares for us. Everything we need is provided, and all we need do is give thanks. We bring our minds together in thanksgiving for the earth and ask her to support us on our journey today. We turn our thoughts to the waters of the earth. The waters flow beneath the ground in little streams and in rivers, in lakes and wetlands, and in the great seas. The waters flow within us too, and we bring our minds together in thanksgiving and greeting to the waters of the earth and ask the waters to lend their strength to our journey today. We now direct our thoughts to the many kinds of plants that live upon the earth, the trees and low-growing plants. They sustain us. They provide shelter and food, and they take away sickness. With one mind, we send our thoughts and thanksgiving to the plant nations and ask that they lend their strength on our journey today. With one mind, we now direct our thoughts and thanksgiving and greeting to the animal world. We remember our kinship with the animals, how our animal companions enrich our lives, and how our wild heart responds when we see a flash of eye shine in our headlights and a deer bounds away into the depth of the woods. We send a thanksgiving to all the animal life and ask that they lend their strength on our journey today. We gather our minds as one as we direct our thoughts to our oldest brother, the sun. Each day, the sun brings the light of day, the energy source of all life on earth. With one mind, we send our thanksgiving and greetings to our oldest brother, the sun, and ask the sun to be with us as we journey today. We now turn our minds to Grandmother Moon, who holds hands with all the women of the world, binding all the female cycles and the rhythms of the waters so that we may continue to carry out our work here on earth. We in female bodies are tasked with removing parasitic energy and outsider energy, and Grandmother Moon will help us do that. We send Grandmother Moon our thanksgiving and greeting and ask her to be with us as we journey today. With our minds as one, we thank the spirit beings of the four directions, those who are known by many different names and who work for the good of all life. We send out a thanksgiving and greeting to those spirit beings who are our personal guides. They come to help us, and we know that they are with us when we are moving through life and a feeling tells us not to go a certain way, or we are led to teachers who hold the knowledge that we need. And now we gather our minds together as one and send our thanksgiving and greetings to these spirit beings and ask that they be with us as we journey today. We gather our minds together and send out a thanksgiving and a greeting to all not yet mentioned, among them the insects, the stars, the winds, the birds with their joyful songs, our elders, and those that came before us, our ancestors. We ask that they be with us and share their wisdom on our journey today. We stand in the safety of the guardianship circle, gathering the energies given us this day, ready to journey. Our guides are by our sides, and so it is.
How powerful we each make this circle, not just by our presence, by this new participation of setting space. So thank you, Arlie. So let's each presence ourselves into the circle. Name where you are on the planet and any word you want to add to the field. So I'm Sharon Raji Maynard here on Whidbey Island, Washington State. My dog animal friend, my daughter's dog, is excited about something. So I am too. So I want to add renewal. And Angelique.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Arlie, for your beautiful, beautiful opening and prayer. And thank you. I greet you from overseas, from the Netherlands, from Den Haag, The Hague. We had a beautiful day today and a sunny spring full day, still very fresh, but beautiful. And I went to the forest to offer a flower offering, and that was a beautiful ceremony. And we made it yesterday on the equinox. And I offer to this circle reciprocity. And I go to Sue.
Thank you, Angelique. Thank you, Arlie. That was beautiful. Everything I'm about today is love and light. So that's what I'm bringing to the circle. And back to you, Sharon.
I don't think Arlie's put herself in the circle yet.
Nope, I haven't. Arlie here in New Zealand. And I feel really strongly this rock hard presence that today is going to be a solid journey day. Yeah, I guess that's really the way to put it, a rock of connection. So that's what I bring to the circle.
Okay, so let's just go around if there's anything that's on your heart or anything you want to put into the field about future holding space, what's emerging for you before we go on journey. And let's just go around with that opportunity. Sue, let's start with you.
Thank you. So this morning I was awakened, early morning, and after tossing and turning for a while, I went inside and said, okay, so what? And oh my God, it was the blinding light experience. But the first blinding light experience I had was so many years ago driving down the freeway. And it was a blinding light outside of me that was the whole universe. Mm-hmm. This one was the whole universe inside of me. And this is how I see myself, how I see each of you. And that when I say the source, I am talking about the source being God consciousness. There is a frequency and energy to the word God that, as I understand it, there is no other word that has this vibration, this frequency. And I'm still trying to just be still with what I saw and felt, because it was an amazing being, love and light. And my prayers are, prayers and meditation are now realizing that each person is the true nature of love and light. And I'm working with that since this is brand new. And so I'm asking all the angels, well, I asked all the angels and the masters and my team to just clear the way and bring me my highest truth. And I think they just did. So now I'm asking the angels, the masters, and my team to now keep me emotionally stable because this just sort of rocked and changed my world. It has changed my emotional world, and it is put me in the unknown, and I'm trusting it completely. It changed my trust. So I am just open to where this is going to take me, and I love circle because of the power of circle. These circles are taking me deeper than anything else I've ever tried. So Monday, Wednesday circles are working in a far more powerful way, just because we are so supportive of each other wherever our journey takes us on each of these days. And that makes a huge, huge difference. And besides, you're as strange as I am, and that I love. And it's so comforting that you are just strange. So that's where I am today. Thank you. And Arlie?
Well, I'm definitely kind of scattered in energies and things that are happening here, but it seems to be all good. My water heater blew. This is a big deal because the water heater runs, it's huge. It's so big around, I can't get my arms around it, and it's taller than I am because it does a lot of different things here in the house. And the guy told me that we'd basically been sitting on a bomb because something wasn't correct with the attachment from the street. This thing could have blown up, which I don't think would have been a lot of fun. But it was discovered and it was taken care of, and it wasn't even traumatic to get this thing dealt with and get a new one in here. And then my daughter's coming home. I have to set up the sleep out. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do the other thing. Everything is just laying out and happening as it should. There's only a couple of issues that are bumpy and rocky, one having to do with my husband's health, but everything else is just flowing around and stepping back into ceremony and woo-woo and crystals and doing all the things that I had set aside is also smoother and easier. There's still a part of me that fights setting aside the time. But even that side is beginning to like, fine, then just do it, and throwing in the towel. So that's where I am, and I'm pretty happy to be here. It's fall equinox. We're stepping into fall, a time that's supposed to be quiet and contemplative. We're heading toward the time of quiet and contemplation and hibernate in a cave sort of thing. And instead I'm like, my daughter's coming home. My daughter's coming home. So that's where I am, sitting in the catbird seat, and I will pass on to Angelique.
Thank you, Arlie. It's so beautiful listening to you both. And also that I realized that you're definitely on the other side of the planet because we are going into spring. This is so funny. Oh my God. And also that I feel exactly what you said, Sue, like being in this sisterhood is so wonderful. It's such a really, really, supportive energies, and which has been rare up until now. I mean, this is for me also the first time that I meet women from over the planet, from over the whole world, who are resonating. We are resonating in the same energies, and that's so beautiful. And that makes me feel happy. And yesterday, I had a beautiful ceremony with my youngest son, Milan. And Milan is a photographer, and he is a really special being. He is very, very special. And not because he's my son, but he is, he's a light being. He's a true light being. And the way he does like ceremony with me and just being there, the two of us, just only the two of us, and having a most beautiful, powerful experience with the spirit world. And he's it's so natural to be with him, and I have 3 children, but he's the only one who is so close to the spirit world and always have been. And I remember, maybe that's nice to share, when he was born, I guess he's 35. That sounds strange because I really don't know whether he's 35 or 36. Oh my God. But when he was born, I immediately knew him and said, "Oh, there he is again, he's back. Wow." And it was such a light. You're talking about light, Sue, but this was a light experience for me, really. And that has never left me since. And it's really a very, very, yeah, harmonious relationship we have. And so we created this beautiful offering for the equinox, which I do with every equinox and every solstice. I'm a circle keeper, and I love creating flower offerings and putting beautiful feathers in it, and then bring it to the waters and do water ceremony. And then, or when we don't bring it to the waters, we bring it to the forest, like what we did today. And I have a really familiar tree there, and it's called a bear tree. There's a bear living in this tree, having this bear face and body, and beautiful, beautiful. But last year there had happened something with this tree, and this time when I came back, I come regularly, but now when we came back today, and I really intended to offer the flowers there were poles and branches and everything standing upward to the body of this beautiful tree, and it felt so disgracing. So we freed her. I was with Robert, with my partner, and we freed her and did a little prayer there. And but it didn't feel right to put the flowers there, because it was like when this is violated all the time. So we prayed for healing for her, but the along the way there was this bushes of pine trees who was really calling on me, "You can come here, come over here." And we put the flowers underneath, and you couldn't even hardly see it from the road. So we went to the bushes and went to this beautiful tree, and it was amazing. And on the moment that we just laid down the flowers, you unwrapped it from the 4 directions paper, and then we put it over there, and there came the sun, just shone right on the flowers. And it was like, you know, I have no words for that, but it's all light. It's all light indeed. Yes, it was beautiful. And what I forgot to mention this time, I always receive my flowers for my ceremonies from my florist. You call it a florist? Yeah, guess. And he said last Saturday, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I've only roses for you." And there were white and white pink, such beautiful roses. It was amazing. So we had this lovely, beautiful Mother Earth heartful flowering offering with only roses and white feathers. So yeah, thank you. This was what I love to share, because I love to bring a little of this energies and this beauty of into this field as well. Thank you. You're on mute, Sharon. Oh. Mm. Mm.
Thank you, Angela.
Ah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
For
I
me,
go to you, Sharon.
okay. You know what I'm finding, I guess it was a couple of years ago when I contacted Cinda and Carol Squire, and I think Susan Mavity was there at the time, and Kelly, and said, you know, I know I now have time to put my business together again. Would you guys kind of be my advisory board? So they said, oh yeah, we will. And Cinda says, just get clear, you know, it'll happen, just get clear. She just kept saying that, which is, you know, of course that's true. So each level of clarity brings another level of student client friends, and I'm so grateful for that. And what I'm finding the last 2 or 3 days is women who are coming who have reached the end of their birth plan and the coming approaching time of their transition. Like life's, they only plan to be here for this length of time, and they're now being shown their death, and they're going, wait a minute, I'm just getting started. And literally having the opportunity to say, do you want to go or do you want to stay? I mean, truly, you could go. It's in your birth plan. This is not an early death. This is a birth plan. And having them say, no, I'm not finished yet. No. And it's right here at the spring equinox here in our country, saying what's new, what's the rebirth, and Easter of the resurrection. And I went, wow, let's all just grab hold of that ending of what is old, no longer needed, won't get that off my plate, clear it up. It's like a claiming of a death of all of that. And then really seriously redesign life as you want to be from this point forward. It's like, maybe it's like doing that jump in an even bigger way from pulling ourselves out of the mud to being like, I've got a few toes still in the mud, and you know what? I'm just taking off my boots and jumping. So to me, that's been really, really important to acknowledge for these women, but for all humanity, all humanity, a whole new time to be resurrected into our true identity, I just found it very kind of exciting and also joyful that we can claim this time of year in a way I've never felt that before. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. And what will that mean in relationship to the broadcasting today, the claiming today, the holding the light today? And I really like what you said too, Arlie, the claiming of rock hard journeys. What is that rock hard journey that I want to be on for today, or that maybe is planned for me, I hope, for today? Because we're going to claim it for all humanity, Gaia, all life forms. Okay, you ready? Here we go. So find a place for your body to be held. If you want to turn off your camera, that works really well too. And as we are here at this moment of time here on Gaia, connected to galactic star family and everything in between. Everything in between. And where is it that might need our tweaking or activating or blessing or expanding? Maybe some little wave, some little song that is of the old harmonic, or some little space that has a void waiting for the new harmonic. We have the entire field of life, the entire assistance of our divine star families, the guidance that's there, the plan that's in place. And we are here with the voice of the first dimension, with the law of personal choice, with the authority given to us as a soul within a physical female bodysuit. And so, where is it that you will be directed with your powerful part to play? So we are here as one nodule within the entire web of life in all 64 dimensions. We are not doing this work for ourselves or even ourselves and our family. We are doing it as a voice for the entire. So with that in mind, look around and see where your team is, who they are, how they show up for you today. Feel their presence. Maybe hear their words, sense their love of you. Feel your response, feelings, words, and love back to them. And your path opens. You travel safely. You return safely. All is done in the sacred space of sovereignty within the vortex of the guardian circles. So travel, and we'll meet back when you're complete. Okay, we are back. Oh, Angelique, would you like to start, please?
Yes, I will. The energy of the journey was really special. It was like being in the past, the present, and the future at the same time. And it was confusing and well known. I can't explain that in words, but it was like, I know this and I don't. Yeah. And I traveled with this egg now, this crystal egg. And I was holding it in my hand, and then I was in the egg. It was surrounding me. And I was walking on a path with red earth, and the red earth was rather dry, and there were little flinters of mica and crystal in it, on it, in the earth. Then when the egg was surrounding me, I saw myself walking upon a hill, little trees and bushes around me, and all there, the soil was rather dry. It was rather a dry, dry environment. And when I came up the hill there, I could see all around me. It was like huge, white, I could see very far, and on all sides. And on one side there was a huge light coming up, and it was first orange and then yellow and then white. And the whole horizon was colored in this spectrum of colors, and then it was totally white. And then I knew I was in Ireland. I just found myself in Ireland, and then I was happy. And I found myself in Usnach, and I have been there, but I recognized it immediately. I was walking there, and I knew the vibrant of the magical. The air is so special there, and the energy of the air and the light beings who are in the air is so very, very magical. And I knew that, and I recognized it again. And they call the rock the navel of Ireland. And I was going to the rock again and sitting underneath and feeling the structure of the stone. And then I realized how the similarity of the egg in my hand and being in the egg and then sitting against the rock, which is also the form of a huge egg and a little different, but also this round and closed form. And I just was in the past and in the present and the future at the same time. So that was it. Thank you. I go to Sue.
Thank you, Angelique. We are infinite, timeless beings. And I think that's what you just experienced. So I went into the light, and I'm not emotionally stable today. I go in and out of, oh my God, and oh my God. I am all over the place today. I'll probably eat chocolate a little bit later. So this is Crystal Broadcasting, and I keep forgetting. Then I sent my light to the crystals and water, plants, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom. And then I told them this is Crystal Broadcasting. So then they sent the light, they drew the light in, they have their light, they have their wisdom, and they're beaming it out to humanity. in a different way than ever before. And I just sat with that. I find that if I try not to interpret it too much and just leave it alone, it has a greater power. And that reminds me that when I was getting this information this morning about being love and light, what kind of triggered it was I've been reading the Sermon on the Mount by Emmett Fox, and I came to the words, Our Father, in the Lord's Prayer. And I read his interpretation of that. And that just exploded with, I need to know that. And so this morning, what I was getting was sources, God consciousness. It's beyond anything we can identify, imagine, or put into words. And that's the Father. And I am the child. And as long as I keep that relationship exactly like that, I have a source, and I am a channel, I am a vessel, and my part is to receive and broadcast out. And then I was praying for people. And I went through my whole list of people. And it didn't feel like I was going to be focusing on any one person. It felt like that if I can just get myself settled, I can do groups. And I can just do more than I can imagine right now. So what also came in this meditation again, and keep getting it, is that there's a place for me. There's a place for me to live that I haven't imagined. And it will be there when I am ready. So I am in transition, just like all the rest of you. We are moving out of the old, and we are moving into a whole new awareness, understanding, dimension, frequency. It's so exciting. Arlie?
I started journeying and heard clearly this is about healing. So I saw a celestial hospital, clue in harp music and little chimes and bright light and seen through several layers of gauze. And a very condescending little shithead told me that each person is made of 3 parts. We have the physical body, and we have the spirit and the aura. And I was like rolling my eyeballs. And the being said, "You're thinking too small." So then I was told, you need to heal the earth in order to heal all. So I was taken above the earth, and I saw thousands, millions, billions of spirit beings, all awaiting the call and direction so that they would have permission to come down and do the healing that the earth needs. Okay. So I started giving directions, you do the trees, and please come down and help our waters. And I could just hear this. I love my spirit guide. And I was taken and shown the core of the earth, and it appeared as a huge bunch of quartz crystals. It was a ball with the points going out. And as I looked at it, the light got brighter and it started glowing like the sun and broadcasting energy through the earth, okay, up to the surface. And I got the feeling that the spirit beings do individual sorts of healings, like you can call them in to do the trees and do the water, and that's really fine. They're there to do named healing at our beck and call. But the crystals send power, energy, strength from the heart of Gaia. And calling on that and energizing it and giving that permission would be incredibly powerful and something that we can all do. So this other bit about calling in the spirits is nice. It's very nice. But we can set off this huge blast of healing, which would also be a little more than nice. It would be like really powerful. So that's where I went. That's what I did. Sharon, have you gone? I'm calling on you.
I sat with my team, and they just kind of did some conversation things, and then they said, this is what we want you to anchor, is to anchor a reality statement, create a glyph, and something, and the words are all aspects of good, infuse and form all that exists in the web of life. So it's like zero tolerance for outsiders. It's assumption there is no outsiders. It's assumption that that end result is that they just don't exist, that all that is in the web of life, extensive, reflects aspects of good. And then they said this is resurrection and rebirth time. So that's what I did. So I got a glyph ready. I've got to get that ready and send out. And this is the statement to anchor. But I've loved all the pieces that were here. It's like so, powerful, and such an honor to sit and be able to listen to each of you. So I think we've done some really, really valuable work today. And also gotten some tut-tuts. Don't be small, right? For all of us, be big. Be big.
Yeah, it's good to speak fluent sarcasm when dealing with this guy or gal, whatever she is.
The humor helps because we're moving into thinking, dreaming, imagining, and doing really huge, big things. And the humor helps. I need it.
I think the humor is absolutely vital. I mean, how else do we stop ourselves from that feeling of being absolutely overwhelmed? And humor is such a human thing. Very few people talk about angels laughing. It's mentioned more infrequently than, and I got this message in the stentorian voice. It's so human and it grounds us. And being grounded is our power in this body, having the right to call in the help that we need. In my humble opinion, my ever so humble opinion.
Oh gosh, that's so great. That's precious. I did a meditation for healing the ego. Well, I've done those before. I didn't do a thing. But this time, what happened was, this time my ego took on a sense of humor, and I didn't recognize it until I was talking to somebody, and I said, "Oh my God, my humor is not out to kill me anymore. It has a sense of humor. It's friendly, and what it's telling me is, oh, aren't I special? Oh, I need more attention. I need not just attention, but I need applause. I need, and it's so outrageous that it's friendly, it's humorous, and I catch myself. My ego is now going to keep me humble because it comes up just like that and goes, aren't I magnificent? Aren't I fantastic? Aren't I wonderful? Come on, everybody.
Oh, that's great.
I think that that's provides such a beautiful contrast to the usual feelings of I am not enough, I can't do it. So between the two extremes, there's a reality that maybe we could find. Or maybe it's better if we vacillate between the two so that we get a more broad view of life on Earth. I don't know.
It works. Yeah, all I know is it works.
That's right.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yes, Angelique.
Is there still time left for this ego?
There is.
So I noticed I had an what I just want to share what happens to me over time, over the past weeks, and I hear you sharing your thing. I noticed that I am becoming very clear and having my boundaries very clear, and that's very welcome because just knowing where you don't know where you're going, that's one thing, but know where you're going, that's the other thing. And it sounds crazy maybe, but I feel I have this direction and I have to go there, but just say no if I encounter someone or somebody who wants to push me in another direction, and say I'm going there. And I don't have to say it, I just do it, and that's so welcome. So I think I just want to check out if you have the same feelings. Do you recognize this? Because for me, I have always been at service, which is no big deal for me. I mean, this is what I'm doing here in this earth plane, in this lifetime. But you can also be at service and forget your own self. And now I know exactly where I am. And that feels so much better, so much more clear. And yeah, so this was what I wanted to share. Anybody has something to share about this? Because I'm really curious about it.
Yes, that means you're claiming your power. Absolutely. It means you're claiming your power. You don't need our permission. You have our support.
No, I don't. I don't need anyone's permission. But it
But
is,
you do have our support and our love.
yeah, great, wonderful. But my question was, do you recognize that in your own process? Is this also what you encounter more than ever? I mean, this is not totally new for me, but it's so strong. It's so decisive. It's so present. So that's
Yes,
what I.
and working on it.
Yeah. I definitely have been feeling that as I put together how do I want to bring my information out in the last month in the last month. A big part of that was what is it? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And in the past, I'm doing what I'm doing because I want to help people change their life. I want to help change the world. which is all service, all service, all service. And there is a lot to be done. And so I focused on that and focused on that. And then, but now I went, wait a minute. I'm in this earth body, in this physical body. I'm on this planet in which I can make energy become visible and be beautiful. So why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I on the planet? A big part of that has shifted to say, I'm on the planet to really love, be loved by, interact with the physical sensations that this planet gives me, that this earth life gives me. And that walking in the tree with the trees more, going on a little mini vacations to be, you know, why am I in this physical body has shifted for me to say, yes, I want to help people have meaning and break free, and absolutely. But now there's really a big shift, an opening that hasn't been there before. This is, whoa, I'm on this planet to have fun.
Yeah.
To walk with feet. You know what I mean? So I felt that just in the last, say, month, for sure.
Well, I it's quite sort of similar what I feel. It's like there's no it's not like ever having to ask myself, is it okay what I'm doing? You know, is this enough what I'm doing? Is
Right.
it okay what I'm doing? Just knowing it is okay what I'm doing, and I have to join, and I'm joining it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So thank you all. Thank you, Arlie, for setting space. Thanks for the mentioning of ceremony. I think I want to ponder that and see if we might want to, how we might want to bring it into our experience, because I think that we definitely have those who know how to do ceremony, and setting space is only a part of that, really, isn't it? So, okay, I love you all.
Love you
And,
too.
until we meet again.
Yeah.
Yes. Love you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye bye.
guys.
We
Good
are
night.
Howard.
Butterfly hugs. That's good. Bye.